What's up guys, it's Wolfgang back with another Dorkfish review, and today we are looking at the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Ultimate E-Honda. Let's get into it. And before we get started, I just want to tell you who this magnificent video is brought to you by. Guys, this review is brought to you today by the Zillion Marketplace. From used to new figures, these guys can hook you up with anything you need to get your collection going or take it to the next level. And Epic Toys Sound, the heroes in the shadows. Check them both out, guys. They're on all social media platforms. They are so worth getting to know. A bunch of amazing people running a bunch of amazing nerd stuff. Music, toys, dios, you name it, they can hook you up. But that's enough of that. Let's get into the figure. Alright, and with that being said, we're going to start off, as we always do, with the box and accessories. And speaking of packages, he's got a beast of a package right here. Look at how huge this thing is. My dio can't even contain it. But you've got the regular E-Honda on the front. You've got your bit on the side. You've got your shot on the back. And that's about it. Yeah, it's the same as any other of this line. Still a good box. I like how they do it. And a nice little backdrop in the background. But that being said, let's now talk about the accessories. Now getting into the accessories across the line, they are pretty uniform in terms of not getting a lot, but being good when it comes to what you do get. So, we're going to start with the head that's already on him, of course, and the fist hands, which come on him in package. But we also have an alternative head, which is his screaming head. And it looks magnificent. I love the paint. It's very clean. The expression is very well done. Even the clip on the hair to hold it in place is painted, and the hair is well sculpted. It looks beast. Next, you've got his alternative hands, which honestly should have been the hands that come on him in package, because that's the hands almost everyone is going to display him with. And that is his stylistic posing, slapping sumo hands. And no, I didn't give a introduction to who E-Honda is, because I figured anyone who's watching this video should already know who he is from Street Fighter 2. The sumo guy in the bathhouse. I never realized it was a bathhouse, by the way, until today of all days. The day I'm shooting it, not the day it's being uploaded. But I never realized that was a bathhouse, but that's neither here nor there. More importantly is this accessory. His special move, his quick hands accessory. And it's good, but it's not great. You've got a peg port for it if you need to peg it, but honestly, it holds onto the arm perfectly fine. I like the clear. I don't know, this feels too muddy. It's paint over a clear plastic, so it doesn't match the tone of the body. So the other hand sticks out like a sore thumb when you put it through. It's easy to do. You pop the wrist off, put it on the forearm, and then you peg the other hand in, right? So easy enough. I almost wish there might have been a way for these to be articulated so that you could adjust them, because they kind of, I don't know, sit weird. And maybe there should have been a impact effect that comes with them, but they didn't do any kind of impact effect. It's okay. It's not my favorite accessory across the line. And I think a lot of it probably is down to the paint and how muddy and plasticky it looks. But that's the accessories, guys. And overall, I'm not going to complain too much. I'm just going to say they could have probably done the hands one a little better, since it's the only thing we're getting effect-wise. Moving along, we're going to talk about the aesthetics of the figure. Aesthetically speaking, I don't think this figure is bad. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I really like the face paint and the face sculpts. I think they nailed them. This screaming head for me is beautiful. The way the eyes are painted, the face paint is not amiss anywhere. I think that they nailed that. The only aesthetic problem I have with mine is a manufacturer's error here, you can see. But otherwise, he is solid all the way across. Another thing I didn't know until today is this is his robe, his bathhouse robe that he's wearing. I had no idea that that's what it was. But here we are. So, musculature. He has some decent shading in and around the musculature, especially you see around the chest area, but also in the arms, around the back especially. And this head, which I'm going to pop off to pull closer, is fantastic as well. I love the sculpting in the hair. The fluidity in the hair up until you get to the ends. That is so well done. The face paint looks amazing. And there's shading in the face on top of there being face paint. I couldn't ask for more. Aesthetically, I think he is a win. He's in scale pretty well as far as I can tell and what I researched. So he looks good next to the other figures. He looks good in general. I'm really pleased. That musculature and the shading in it, I'm really, really pleased with how he looks. But I'm going to struggle here in a second with something that we'll talk about in articulation, is how he stands. It's bad. I mean, it's not horrible, it's not the worst, but he is very top heavy. So getting him into certain poses can be tough. But that's why we do these reviews, to show off the strengths and weaknesses of these figures. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about articulation. All right, and for articulation, he is pretty good all the way around. He moves just how you want him to, or how he should move. He's got a really good shoulder joint, the same as Balrog and Akuma from this wave, and it stands out here as being extremely well done from sculpt all the way around. Starting with his head, it's the standard. You've got the double wall peg. He can look up about that far, which is good for splashing motions. He can look forward fine and with the neck down. You've got plenty of room with the neck and head, even just the head alone. Good attitude and rotation. That shoulder joint, it is magnificent. You can get pretty dang far across, all things considering, and pretty far back because of it. With it, you can T-pose out and then still get up and down and around. So you can do some adjustments with its shoulders to get really good positioning. All the way around, of course. Bicep swivel works just fine. Double jointed elbows, and it's all the same. Pin and hinge wrist. His articulation up top is pretty good. I mean, you can get him far, not super far back up top, but forward, pretty good. You can turn it just fine. For all those who hear that in the background, my AC just went off. And he moves and rotates pretty good. Got some side to side. Now, he did pop on here, which I've seen a few other people have that issue. This glue popping because of the side to side. So just keep that in mind. You may have that issue with him popping, and you'll have to glue it back in place. That just happened while I was moving it. I felt it pop, and you probably heard it pop. He can rotate just fine. This is a floating ball joint, so he can move pretty good side to side, rotate here. So with that forward that far, with it back, without stressing that far, side to side with it, you can get some gapping in there, but it does move, and it rotates just fine. So the legs, this this plastic is cut in multiple places. You can see he's got his britches underneath there to be able to move. So he can pretty much so do the splits. He can kick pretty much so all the way up with that leg and pretty close with this leg, but you've got more plastic here, whereas the other one's got that slit right there. So that's just a difference to note there. Thigh joint is in there just fine for both sides. Double jointed knee. This piece is going to hinder that a little bit. You can move forward to get that double jointed knee, but the plastic here is going to hinder it a touch. Then you've got the ankles, which rotate at the ankle, and then you've got it that far down, that far up, where you start to create some gapping. You've got a nice little ankle rocker in there. It works just fine. And then toe hinge, which I'm just not a fan of, but it is what it is. So articulation-wise, he's pretty dang good, especially for a guy his size. It is disappointing that he popped. I saw some other people that had some issues with the side popping like that, and I hoped I wouldn't have that problem, but now I understand why. So just something to look out for. Yeah, a bit disappointing, especially happening on camera, but hey, That is what it is. Again, that's why we do these reviews. So, articulation, I think he's good. The problem we have, the biggest problem, is he's so top heavy that trying to get him in his pose, I'm not even going to fight with him right now, but trying to get him into his pose can be difficult. It can be done. It's just, you got to really work with it. And it's really actually down to, besides being top heavy, the design of the feet. I have found that it could just be the way the ankles are. He doesn't quite get his feet up flat in certain positions. Or it could be the shape of the foot itself. I'm not really certain. But one way or the other, the feet just don't fully touch the ground at points where it needs to for certain poses, which can make it difficult to pose. But when his legs are completely straight, he stands just fine. So those are things to worry about and note when messing with this figure. Now, that's articulation, which is fair. Not great, but fair. Let's move into size comparison. Alright, and first up we have him next to the rest of the wave. For this wave, it's Balrog, E Honda, and Akuma. And I have him kind of left to right, best to least in this wave. For me, I think that even though Akuma can stand better, I think I really like E Honda just a touch more. That being said, Balrog is not only by far the best this wave, but in my opinion, the best in the line. I think he's number one, and just barely behind him is Cammy and Guile, in my opinion. But hey, the scale on these look fantastic. Next, I have him in between a Hasbro G.I. Joe classified Sergeant Slaughter and a Super 7 Ultimate 2003 TMNT Ninja Turtle Raphael. And I like this scaling across. For the most part, looks good. I know the Hasbro lines can kind of vary, and so he might be just a touch tall. But especially the Ninja Turtle next to him, I think they look good. So here we are at the end of the review, and I have to give my final thoughts. And yeah, he's a great figure in comparison to the rest of the line in certain ways. But I mean, we got bigger figures that could balance really well. Blanca can do his pose, and Sagat can do a one-legged stand pose. So they could have tooled him in a way to figure out that top heaviness to get the balance well done, because he just doesn't balance well. Even when I'm posing him around in between cuts, I'm still having to check to make sure he's balanced right before putting him on the Dio. So that part is aggravating. I know I said that he was number 2 in the wave, this wave, but that's kind of sliding down for me. I really think actually Akuma's above him, but I still think Balrog's the best of the wave. Now, that being said, being third best in this wave does not make him the worst in the line, nor the worst figure available on the market. Definitely get your hands on him. He is going to go up in price. He is very worth it. Big figure, nice figure, looks great. It's going to look great on a shelf when you get him posed up right, and look amazing with the rest of the line. So I do suggest him. I just want you to know the problems that we ran into, and you can make your assessment from there. That being said, I'm going to bring this review to an end. I hope that you like, share, subscribe, check out the people who sponsored this video. Show them all some love. They deserve it. They're great people. And have yourself a killer time. Dorkfish is out. Later, guys.